This is News 8 Now, this morning.
I feel reassured again by our clerks that our process is as safe as it can be. A lot of safeguards in place.
I'm running to restore purpose and responsibility and respect to the office. And so one of the suggestions that I would have for the legislature that's sworn in January, if they're looking at making changes to the Election Commission or getting rid of it, would be to include this constitutional office. I'd advocate for a new model that included this office as part of its new construct.
I think a fun way to engage children in enjoying those foods is asking them about their experience while they're eating it. So if they're eating at a Snickers bar, ask them, what do they taste? How does it smell? What does it feel like? You know, what's that experience like for them?
That is a preview of what we've got coming up for you here on this Friday morning on News 8 Now this morning. Good morning to you. I'm Jordan Fremstad.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
Well, Derek, it sounds like you've got some good news temperature-wise coming up for a spooky Halloween weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Jordan. We're going to be a much warmer, significantly warmer than average across the Coulee region. In fact, we're seeing that here already this morning. In fact, as you head out the door, you'll feel that temperatures will be well into the 30s and 40s. It's a huge difference compared to yesterday. We're running about at least 10 to 15 degrees, if not warmer, in many locations around the Coulee region here this morning as well. Now, that we had a bunch of cloud cover here yesterday, and the cloud cover continued into the overnight hours as expected, and that did help keep us warm here overnight, trapping all the warm temperatures down for us to work with at the surface. Now, the difference though today is that we will be looking at some clearing skies, and because we'll have a south wind and lots of sunshine today, that should help keep us warm here as well. And we will be reaching the low 60s come around the 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. hour when we see the maximum amount of sunshine here for us to work with this afternoon. We'll have more details on this, plus a check on the weather forecast a little bit later. Jordan?
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot for that update, Derek. The midterm election is less than 2 weeks away, and a group of people are getting ready to walk voters through the polls. News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke to a local worker who encourages everyone to learn about the election process.
At the Omni Center in Onalaska, 55 poll workers and dozens of chief inspectors gathered to train for the upcoming election. Voting is considered a constitutional right. But without a certain group of people, that right becomes hard to exercise.
You know, most of them are giving up their daily job to come work the polls.
Poll workers are a key part of the democratic voting process.
We have people from all walks of life, all ages, here to be part of the process.
Poll worker Kathleen Kennedy has always been interested in government.
I was the nerdy kid in middle school and high school who took government classes.
In April, Kennedy signed up to be a poll worker for the primary election.
I liked it so much that I certainly mentioned to the clerk that I would love to be considered to do this again.
Poll workers and chief inspectors are responsible for a variety of tasks at a polling place, including checking in voters, getting voters registered, helping with voting machines, and counting ballots. Kennedy says being a poll worker gives her first-hand experience into the election process.
I feel reassured again by our clerks that our process is as safe as it can be. A lot of safeguards in place.
La Crosse County Clerk Ginny Dankmeyer says poll workers also help answer questions. She says one of the most common myths is about voting machines.
They're not sitting online for hours and hours throughout the day like some people believe.
Dankmeyer says she looks forward to training new poll workers.
My favorite part is the training, meeting the poll workers, talking with them.
Kennedy says she hopes everyone will come out on November 8th.
Vote, vote, vote.
And take part in their constitutional right. Poll workers say they wish more people would sign up and take part in the training so that everyone can understand the safeguards that are in place for elections. Reporting in Onalaska, Dua Israr, News 8 Now.
Thanks a lot, Dua. Dankmeyer says there may be long lines on Election Day, but she encourages people to stay respectful to poll workers while they wait. And again, a reminder, the election is Tuesday, November 8th. The candidates for Wisconsin's 95th Assembly District took to the virtual debate stage on Thursday. Incumbent Democrat Jill Billings battled with City Councilman and Republican challenger Chris Woodard. Billings has served the district since 2011 and emphasized her bipartisan efforts in Madison toward battling the drug trade and homelessness. Woodard branded himself as a Republican who can reach across the aisle. The candidates traded jabs near the end of that hour.
I heard concerns from a couple constituents about Representative Billings' tax delinquency. I think, obviously that deserves more answers.
I have put out a statement that I paid my taxes. They were paid late with penalties. If my opponent is so concerned about my issues, I'd like to also have answers on why he had a 4-year restraining order against him.
There was some circumstances that happened to keep it private and protect the privacy of the other party. We came to an agreement. Things have been settled. There's been no incidents since then.
Obviously, there is more to unpack with that debate. News 8 Now will broadcast the full debate on our 8.2 channel. That's on Friday, November 4th at 7 p.m. During a recent campaign stop in Sparta, Republican candidate for Congress Derek Van Orden said leftists cannot be Christians. He said there are many God-fearing Christians who are Democrats, but there's not a single God-fearing Christian that is a leftist, because those two things are incompatible, in Van Orden's words. Now, Van Orden's opponent, Brad Pfaff, a Democrat and a practicing Lutheran, said during a press conference that the comments were an attack on anyone that doesn't agree with Derek politically. A local retired pastor agreed and says he felt hurt by the comment.
When one part of the faith calls another part not faithful or not Christian is deeply hurtful. It's hard work, and I'm standing here to say I would like to bring unity and peace among people of faith.
In response, Van Orden said in part Brad Pfaff supports the big government specialist spending and the open border. He said Pfaff is the radical here and will say anything for personal political power. The Republican candidate for Wisconsin's Secretary of State believes the way the state oversees elections should be changed. Amy Loudenbeck is running against incumbent Democrat Doug LaFollette, who has served for more than 40 years as Secretary of State. Loudenbeck, a current Assemblywoman, says per her website, the Wisconsin Elections Commission should be abolished. When asked about her stance, Loudenbeck says she wants the Secretary of State's office involved in Wisconsin elections.
I'm running to restore purpose and responsibility and respect to the office. And so one of the suggestions that I would have for the legislature that's sworn in January, if they're looking at making changes to the Election Commission or getting rid of it, would be to include this constitutional office. I'd advocate for a new model that included this office as part of its new construct.
Loudenbeck also says if elected, she will help clear the backlog of documents that need authentication and advocate to update the office's processes. A special guest hopes to engage young voters before the election. Senator Bernie Sanders will make a stop in La Crosse as part of Next Gen America's Our Future Is Now tour on Friday, November 4th, just days before Election Day. Attractions like live performances and celebrity appearances will help motivate people to get up and vote. Sanders will also visit Eau Claire and Madison that day. You can visit news8000.com for more information on that event. You may need to alter your travel plans this morning if you're driving through south side of La Crosse. Crews have begun working on South Avenue between Green Bay Street and West Avenue. Starting today, this area of the road will be closed to traffic for sewer work. Expect that road to reopen again on Halloween. To get around that road closure, you'll need to detour by using Jackson Street and Losey Boulevard. The UW La Crosse women's volleyball team dedicates one game a year to their Playing for a Cause game. Now this year they are playing for Alzheimer's awareness. Eagle Volleyball will play its Attacking Alzheimer's match at 7 p.m. tonight at Mitchell Hall against UW Stevens Point. The inspiration for this year's cause comes from the mother of their former coach, Abby Sutherland, who has Alzheimer's. If you would like to donate to the Alzheimer's Association, we have more info at news8000.com. Still to come here on your Friday morning news, a recent spike in grocery prices is forcing consumers to turn to a familiar alternative. We'll explain just ahead. And if you applied for President Biden's student loan forgiveness, you may be waiting longer than expected. We'll tell you why. We'll have much more coming up after the break as well. With that in mind, we are sending you to break with something to put the good in your Friday morning. A very creative dad in Iowa, Greg Dietzenbach, is putting other homeowners' Halloween decorations to shame by bringing his front door to surreal and spooky life. Behold the Monstore. It's Dietzenbach's latest creepy and crafty concept that he built from scratch. Dietzenbach used the TV for the blinking eyes and broom handles for the animated arms. It's sure to add a scare to the sweet surprises waiting for trick-or-treaters this Halloween season. Gotta love the creativity there on this Friday morning. It is 10 after the hour. We got your latest forecast just ahead here on News 8 Now this morning. We'll be right back right after this.
That was a clear look there from City Cam 8. Temperatures as you head out the door into the 30s and 40s. Overall, about 10 to 15 degrees warmer here, we can say, across much of the Coulee region. We had cloud cover overnight here, and if you remember, we had the clouds yesterday. Those clouds did linger into the overnight hours, and that did keep us relatively warm here overnight, and that kind of lingers here as we head into the early morning. But today, though, those clouds will clear out. Skies will turn mostly sunny, and because we'll have sunshine and a south wind today, that should allow temperatures to warm up well into the 60s here this afternoon, really all across the area. Stoddard looking at sunny skies and temperatures at 60, and it'll be 59 in Black River Falls today, 59 in Whitehall as well. Lots of sunshine here in Eau Claire, 58 degrees for your temperature, 58 and partly cloudy for Augusta, though. For your schoolcast, we're looking at 46 degrees and skies turning mostly sunny, especially by the lunch hour here today. By dismissal, the afternoon temperatures just shy of 60 degrees and mostly sunny. We'll be back with a check on the weather forecast still to come.
Grocery prices have increased 13% in the third quarter, but McDonald's says their menu prices have been increasing at a slower rate. The fast food chain says sales are up more than 6%, with low-income consumers looking to get a better bang for their buck. McDonald's executives point out the company also performed well in the last economic downturn in 2008 and 2009. That is when the fast food giant introduced its dollar menu to boost sales. Peloton slams the brakes on Kanye West's catalog. The exercise company says it has indefinitely paused using music from the controversial rapper who recently made anti-Semitic remarks. Nearly 2,000 Peloton classes used West's music before, according to the company's website. As we have previously reported, a number of other companies have recently cut ties with West because of his statements, including Adidas, Foot Locker, and Gap. Thursday was a bad day for investors in tech stocks as Facebook owner Meta reported weak results. E-commerce giant Amazon stock fell nearly 20% on Thursday. Analysts blame the drop on Amazon's prediction that holiday sales could be lighter than expected. Apple shares also dipped around 1% on Thursday, but overall Apple did beat Wall Street analysts' sales and income projections. A legal challenge to President Biden's student loan forgiveness program has millions of people wondering, what now? In Consumer Watch this morning, what borrowers and those who qualify for relief should know this morning.
In legal limbo, a federal appeals court put President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program on pause for now.
I'm still waiting for that relief, right? No one's had their debt canceled yet.
Friday's move barred the administration from canceling loans, while the court considers a legal challenge from 6 Republican-led states. So, what does it mean for the more than 20 million people who've applied for relief so far? The Biden administration appears confident the program will prevail.
But we're not deterred. We'll keep fighting for you and pushing through.
The administration had said Sunday was the earliest day it would start discharging loans. So people will now have to wait a little longer while the program's fate is decided.
I'm one of the people that we're fighting for.
Cody Hunanian is the executive director of the Student Debt Crisis Center, a nonprofit focused on ending the student debt crisis, who is also waiting for some of his debt to be forgiven.
It's not going to erase my entire debt, but it's a third of my student loan debt, and it, one, opens up the door, hopefully, for the ability to purchase a home, invest in myself in a different way.
The program would dismiss up to $10,000 in debt for eligible applicants, up to $20,000 if they received Pell Grants. So, what should you do if you qualify? The White House is still encouraging people to apply at studentaid.gov. And the Better Business Bureau continues to remind you to beware of ongoing scams.
Scammers have been right there to take advantage. They know that there's a bit of confusion about what's going to happen next.
Now, the 6 GOP-led states that requested a preliminary injunction argue that President Biden doesn't have the legal authority to wipe out the debt.
We're looking at quiet conditions in La Crosse now with temperatures at 41 degrees and a southeast wind at 5 miles an hour, although it is a bit warmer here downtown at 43 degrees compared to the actual temperature being measured at the airport. Our river stage is at 5.08 feet and rising this morning. 45 degrees, partly cloudy if you're in Eau Claire. South winds here at around 6 miles an hour. Temperatures across the rest of the area into the 30s and 40s. We're looking at 45 though in Winona, 41 Black River Falls, 32. Good morning to you in Sparta. You're right at the freezing mark here, as a matter of fact. But really, no matter where you are, it's about a 10 to 15 degree warmer difference compared to the last 24 hours or so as well. High temperatures today are going to be well into the upper 50s. If not, you'll at least be into the low 60s here come this afternoon too. 54 and mostly sunny by noon, and then mild and sunny conditions at 5, 60 degrees, 47 and clear skies as we head into the early evening. Now, if you remember, yesterday was a pretty cloudy day, and all the clouds here lingered into the overnight hours, and those clouds here overnight kept us warm here to allow us to see some warmer temperature readings to work with this morning as well. Now, not only that, but we're also working with a south wind, so perfect recipe overnight to really keep us warm. And you know, we're going to be looking at that southerly wind in place for a while, so that's why our temperatures are going to be taking advantage of that, warming up well into the mid to upper 60s. In fact, come Tuesday and Wednesday, you can see our highs will be between 67 to as warm as 68 degrees. And again, that's all thanks to that south wind. Now today, we're expecting a lot of clear skies, so we'll have that and the south wind to keep us warm today. South winds will continue into tonight, and if you play along as we head into tomorrow, that south wind will hang in there here for us as well, with lots of sunshine here to move in across the area. So that is why pretty much we're going to be pretty warm for a while, so take advantage of it while we can with these temperatures well into those mid to even upper 60s, especially as we head towards the mid part of next week. And even our low temperatures will be pretty warm as well. We're going to be warming up from the upper 30s to low 40s here to the mid to upper 40s as we head into next week, and we may be even as warm as the low 50s as we head into the latter half of next week during the Thursday and Friday morning time frame later on. But stay with us though, we'll have much more news and weather still to come right here on News 8 Now this morning. But for now, we're taking a quick break. Here's a look at what happened on this day in history. We'll be right back. Pretty warm start this morning as temperatures are well into the 30s and 40s. We got 32 though in Sparta. You're looking pretty cold there. Volkfield's at 35. Viroqua's at 37, but much warmer here central, north, and west, where we're looking at temperature readings well into the 40s. Cloud cover overnight did keep us warm here this morning, and those clouds are continuing to lessen as we progress through the day today. Mostly clear for the later morning hours on the morning walk. Mostly sunny here for the afternoon, and then walking conditions with you and Sherman are looking good here this evening as we'll be looking at mainly clear skies. Mowing forecast this morning looks good, 43, but 50 degrees by 11. Better time to mow here probably around 3 where we'll be sunny and temperatures at 60 degrees. We'll have a check on the full weather forecast and your commute forecast still to come.
Welcome to the Blitz. The Wisconsin High School Volleyball Playoffs continued last night. It's time for the sectional semifinals. I've been looking forward to this one since it became official over the weekend. It's win or go home for Westby and Aquinas. The winner heads to the sectional final. Let's head out to Westby. The Norsemen 32-1 up to this point. The Blue Golds looking to change that. First set, Westby up 7. Trisha Klum the set. Jada Berg the kill. Norsemen take an 8-point lead. It's 16-8. Aquinas answers back later in the first. Perfect setup for Sammy Davis, the freshman, not playing like one. She cuts it to 6, but the Norsemen came to play again. It's Klum to Berg, and the senior seals the first. Westby takes the opening set 25-20. Set 2, different story. Blue Golds bounce back in a big way. Macy Donarski sets up Amy Hine for the kill. Aquinas takes the second set 25-22. We're not at 1 going to the third. This one all Westby. This time it's Klum to Kennedy. Briggan finding a spot on the other side. Norsemen open up 13-1, and they kept their foot on the gas the entire set. Perfect touch fingertips finish off the third for Westby. It's 2-1, heading to the fourth. In set 4, Norseman up 17-12 until Emily Collins absolutely demolishes this ball into the floor. Westby's pumped, they can taste it. It's 18-12, and then on match point, who else but the senior who's led them the entire year? Berg gets the kill, and it's time to get wild in Westby. The Norsemen take down Aquinas in 4 sets. They're heading to the sectional final on Saturday. Westby's going to celebrate, or they did. They celebrated all night long. Here come the students storming the court. Just an awesome night to be a Norseman. Over in West Salem, the Panthers got a home game against 6th seed Platteville. West Salem in control early. Platteville getting stuffed at the net, and then on the weak return, Reese Sackett makes them pay. Nice touch spike there. Later in the set, West Salem looking to close it out. Kendall Burkhammer's spike is returned. Jen Norman's season opening. That point gives the Panthers the first set. Second set now, more of the same. Platteville stuffed at the net, this time by McKenna Eiley. And then later in the set, it's Burkhammer again, this time the serve. That's an ace. West Salem takes set 2. Platteville would take the third set, but in set 4, all West Salem. This time, Anna McConkey getting the block, and West Salem wins it in 4 sets. The Panthers are moving on. They'll be up against Bloomer in the sectional final. As for Holman, the Vikings had a phenomenal season, but it comes to an end last night against Middleton. How about Waniwak Center? The Wolves are trying to get back to state. They got the win in 3 sets. They'll be taking on Highland in the sectional final. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
It is just after 6:30 here on this Friday morning. Breaking overnight, North Korea has fired at least 2 short-range ballistic missiles on Friday. The launch comes as South Korea wrapped up military drills involving its Navy, Marine, and Air Forces along its east coast. North Korea said that its missile launches are in response to the South's military exercises, which they have dubbed provocative. South Korea is expected to conduct a large-scale joint Air Force training with the U.S. starting on October 31st. The German government is paving the way for the legalization of recreational cannabis for adults. Though many details must be first squared with the EU law, the legislation would allow adults to process up to 30 grams of marijuana. It would also allow limited amounts of cannabis to be grown and sold to adults in licensed specialist shops, but Germany's health minister warns many hurdles remain. An iconic piece of western Minnesota, one town's landscape, is now gone. The former NSP plant towered over Granite Falls for decades. That plant was a critical force of energy for 70 years until Xcel Energy retired it more than a decade ago. It was a major source of power from the 1930s to the early 2000s. Hundreds of employees helped produce electricity for farms and towns between the Twin Cities and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Former employees were on the site of the demolition and reminisced about the plant.
I couldn't wait to get to work. It was so wonderful. It was a great place to work.
Xcel says decommissioning the coal plant is part of its clean energy initiative. When the jackpot gets this big, the pot of people playing grows also. At one auto shop in Minnesota, a ticket is more popular than gas. Marielle Mose has the story this morning.
Hi, I'd like to get a lottery ticket.
A ticket to potential riches is more popular than gas right now at Bobby and Steve's auto shop in Eden Prairie.
I hope it's the one.
It's a $700 million Powerball jackpot with a $335 million cash payout.
First thing I do is maybe quit working. I would party pretty good.
Some people say they'd spread the wealth of their winnings.
Probably donate a lot of money to the homeless people here in Minnesota and helping out all our friends in Florida, because that is still a mess down there.
I help the people that need help, and I'll open me up a couple business, take care of my family.
Others would use the money to wander the world.
Guatemala is one of my favorite countries to go and enjoy it with my kids.
Charles Vinson walked out of the gas station without getting a ticket, but then turned around to buy one because he had a gut feeling.
When something tells you, hey, maybe you should do something, just do it. And you just need a little push sometimes, and this is going to be the one, I feel like.
Javon McCaston asked a higher power to help him.
I did a little prayer, a little 5-second prayer, just hoping.
But remember, when the jackpot gets this big, the pot of people playing grows too.
I don't do it very often, so when it gets this big, I figure I might as well just try it once.
In Eden Prairie.
You are all set. Good luck.
Now, the Powerball currently stands at $800 million, and ticket buyers are anxiously awaiting Saturday's drawing to see if they won a ticket to riches. You can't win if you don't enter, of course. Wisconsin has become the first state in the nation to provide housing benefits to low-income families. The aid is possible through the Children's Health Insurance Program. The state's Department of Health Services got approval from the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS. CMS provides housing support to people with children who have low income and are currently homeless. DHS leaders say having stable housing is the first step toward leading a healthier life.
Helping folks find and keep a roof over their heads is an essential part of making sure that families with children living at home and pregnant women have a solid foundation for building a healthy future.
The programs help get people into housing, but the program will not be helping people paying ongoing rent costs. Mental health issues are growing in La Crosse and surrounding areas, and the Family and Children's Center in La Crosse will be hosting a presentation called The Bridges to Better Tomorrow. The event focuses on improving the community's mental health. Featured speakers will talk about goals for the Family and Children's Center's future.
Without the support of the community and the philanthropic community, we wouldn't be able to do some of the work that we're doing right now. So any support is appreciated.
The event happens November 10th and is free to the public. People who are interested in going are asked to register by October 31st to secure a seat. We will have that registration information and a link at news8000.com. Trick-or-treating can be fun, but for people who may be on a diet, it gets tricky. With Halloween less than 4 days away, watching what you eat on Halloween can be challenging. According to Mayo Health Clinic dietitians, finding a good balance between healthy and sugary is important, and it teaches kids to enjoy the healthy foods along with the candy they love.
I think a fun way to engage children in enjoying those foods is asking them about their experience while they're eating it. So if they're eating a Snickers bar, ask them, what do they taste? How does it smell? What does it feel like? You know, what's that experience like for them?
Experts recommend that parents limit the Halloween candy to 2 snacks after dinner and treat Halloween candy like a food sometimes. One company is supporting workers who don't get enough appreciation. This month, Xcel Energy has recognized their dedicated frontline workers. Xcel employees got up bright and early on Thursday morning to serve their workers a free breakfast. They say that these employees don't get enough recognition for the work they do for our community.
These guys work hard and probably don't get the appreciation that they really deserve. And, you know, most of these workers are the ones that, if it's storming out, they're the ones trying to fix the lines, or if there's a gas leak, they're the ones, you know, trying to fix everything.
Xcel Energy partnered with Quick Trip to host these drive-thrus throughout Xcel's service area. An organization is bringing together people of all ages. Workforce Connections runs the Foster Grandparent Program, which connects people age 55 and over with elementary students across the Coulee region. The nonprofit organization has been helping kids and their foster grandparents make memories for 7 years. But one grandparent started bonding with students on his own about a decade ago, and he's seen them grow into amazing individuals.
The main idea is that these kids have really developed into fine young people. And am I going to take the credit for it? I'm not. It's these kids. It's the kids that have gone and done it and have really improved the way they have.
Workforce Connections is looking for more foster grandparents. You can head to news8000.com for more details on how to get involved. The community voted with their taste buds on Thursday at the second La Crosse Soup of the Year. These gatherings happen 4 times a year. People can come, pay $5 for a bowl of soup, some bread, and 1 vote. That vote goes to one of 4 organizations who present their ideas to the crowd. Thursday's winner was the Special Needs Dream Team, and the leader of the group accepted donations, saying the funds will be a big help.
This means so much to me. This is a passion that I've had for many years, and this definitely will go toward making the Christmas celebration that we have for our special needs community a wonderful time. Thank you.
The Dream Team will get more than $2,000 from soup sales and from a bake sale run by Emerson Elementary School kids. The next La Crosse Soup happens in January. We have more information posted that you can check out. That's at news8000.com.
Cloudy skies continue across much of the Coulee region this morning. Those clouds here overnight did keep us relatively warmer here this morning, as you can see, with temperatures into the 40s in some spots. But some of us, though, are waking up to temperature readings slightly cooler than that. As you can see, the 30s, mainly off towards the east. But really, no matter where you are, it's about at least 10 to 15 degrees warmer in many locations around the Coulee region. 60 degrees and mostly sunny skies is what we can expect for today, with south winds light at 5 to 10. For tonight, though, 39 degrees with clear skies and overall pretty mild as well. South wind still there at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now for your drivecast this morning, partly cloudy skies, and for the lunch hour, skies then turn mostly sunny, looking at mainly clear conditions as we head into your late afternoon to early evening commute as well, while temperatures remain fairly mild during the afternoon hours. But stay tuned. We'll have another check, a final check that is, on your full weather forecast still to come. Jordan?
Thanks a lot, Derek. Following Kanye West's anti-Semitic comments, one person is speaking out against West, condemning the hate speech. Find out who that person is and more in our Buzz Report after the break.
.41 degrees in La Crosse with a light southeast wind at around 5 miles an hour, though downtown a little bit warmer than the actual airport reading at 43 degrees. It does feel like it's 38 degrees when you factor in some wind. River stage is at 5.08 feet and rising along the Mississippi River. 45 degrees and partly cloudy, though, in Eau Claire. You're looking at south winds at around 6 miles an hour and a feel like temperature currently of 42 degrees. Temperatures, though, in Sparta are much colder really than the rest of us. You're currently at 32. Oakfield's at 35 degrees. And Winona is currently at 43. So the warmer air looks to be mainly across our central and northern zones at the moment. But really, it doesn't really matter where you are, because most locations around the Coulee region are looking much warmer than the last 24 hours. And yes, today we do expect another warm afternoon, as high temperatures will climb their way up into the upper 50s to low 60s today. We'll be at 43 degrees and then turning a little bit sunnier here by noon today, or by 7 o'clock, I should say. By noon, though, 54, mostly sunny and mild conditions at 5 o'clock. Temperatures will be right around that 60-degree mark, and then we got clear skies in the forecast this evening. Temperatures dropping to 47 degrees. So yesterday was a pretty cloudy day. The cloud cover is beginning to dissipate here, but those cloudy skies at night did keep us pretty warm here this morning as well. That's why it's feeling warmer. And also, not to mention that we have a south wind here in place that is pumping in warmer air from the south as well and allow it to spread north across much of the upper Midwest and the Coulee region. And as long as that south wind is in place, it's going to be pretty warm here for the next several days. In fact, we're thinking highs will be well into the 60s here for at least about a week or so. And we could be around 67 to 68 degrees come Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So for today, those clouds you can see decreasing. Sunshine takes over. That south wind will be in full force throughout the day today, allowing us to be very warm and mild here for these standards for this time of the year. And as we take it into tonight, we do expect that warm air to continue as that south wind does continue to traverse across the Coulee region. By this weekend, another warm day as we expect sunshine and the south wind to linger across much of the area. And again, that is expected here for the next several days as well. You can see by Halloween Day, Monday looking good, 64 and partly cloudy skies. Will continue to warm up to the upper 60s here, as mentioned before, on Tuesday and Wednesday with fair weather conditions. Looks like our next best chance of rain may not be for a while as things remain pretty dry, but we'll keep our eyes on late next week on Friday for a chance of rain, though.
In our Buzz Report this Friday morning, comedian Kenan Thompson is set to host the People's Choice Awards for the second year in a row, and he just hosted the Emmy Awards last month. Of course, Thompson has his own award prowess. He is nominated for Comedy TV Star for Saturday Night Live, which means he could also take home a statue. The People's Choice Awards will air on NBC and E! on December 6th. Kim Kardashian is condemning hate speech amid the current controversies surrounding her ex, Kanye West. On Monday, Kardashian posted a statement on Instagram sharing her support of the Jewish community. She wrote, "Hate speech is never okay or excusable," and called for an end to verbal attacks and violence against Jews. West has faced criticism in recent weeks for anti-Semitic posts and comments. We are sending you to break with a look at who is turning 8 this morning.
That's right. We're wishing Mila a very happy 8th birthday today. Now, Mila loves gymnastics and playing with her brothers.
Happy birthday, Mila. Love the smile this morning. And welcome to the show. We hope you have a safe Halloween weekend and a happy birthday today. If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80 years old, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website. It's news8000.com, and you want to look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Oh, we want to make sure you stay with us. We've got everything you need to know this morning in 5 minutes or less, plus your latest forecast, and I hear it's a lot warmer, Derek.
Absolutely.
We'll see you right back here in just a few minutes. Your morning news now on this Friday. Poll workers are often considered an essential part of democracy. They make sure the voting process runs as smoothly and quickly as possible. In April, Kathleen Kennedy signed up to be a poll worker for the primary election. Kennedy said she enjoyed being part of the election process, so she signed up to be a poll worker again. Kennedy says being a poll worker gives her firsthand experience into the election process.
I feel reassured again by our clerks that our process is as safe as it can be. A lot of safeguards in place.
Kennedy says she wants everyone to be a poll worker at least once so that everyone can understand and see how safe the election process is. Mental health issues are growing in La Crosse and surrounding areas. The Family and Children's Center in La Crosse will be hosting a presentation called The Bridges to Better Tomorrow. The event focuses on improving the community's mental health. Featured speakers will talk about goals for the Family and Children's Center's future.
Without the support of the community and the philanthropic community, we wouldn't be able to do some of the work that we're doing right now. So any support is appreciated.
The event happens November 10th and is free to the public. People who are interested in going are asked to register by October 31st to secure a seat. We've got information about how to register along with a link at news8000.com.
Temperatures well into the 40s here this morning. We will be looking at the 50s, though, come this afternoon. Highs reaching near the 60-degree mark here come the late afternoon hours between 3 and 5 with lots of sunshine. Overall, a much warmer day.
The community voted with their taste buds on Thursday at the second La Crosse Soup of the Year. These gatherings happen 4 times a year. People can come pay $5 for a bowl of soup, some bread, and 1 vote. That vote goes to one of 4 organizations who present their ideas to the crowd. Thursday's winner was the Special Needs Dream Team, and the leader of the group accepted donations, saying the funds will be a big help.
This means so much to me. This is a passion that I've had for many years, and this definitely will go toward making the Christmas celebration that we have for our special needs community a wonderful time. Thank you.
The Dream Team will get more than $2,000 from soup sales and from a bake sale run by Emerson Elementary School kids. The next La Crosse Soup happens in January. We have more information to that again on our website. It's news8000.com. Trick-or-treating can be fun, but for people who may be on a diet, it gets tricky. With Halloween less than 4 days away, watching what you eat at Halloween can be challenging. According to Mayo Health Clinic dietitians, finding a good balance between healthy and sugary is important, and it teaches kids to enjoy healthy foods along with the candy they love.
I think a fun way to engage children in enjoying those foods is asking them about their experience while they're eating it. So if they're eating a Snickers bar, ask them, what do they taste? How does it smell? What does it feel like? You know, what's that experience like for them?
Experts recommend that parents limit the Halloween candy to 2 snacks after dinner and treat Halloween candy like food sometimes. If you may need to alter your travel plans this morning if you're driving through Southside La Crosse. Crews have begun working on South Avenue between Green Bay Street and West Avenue. Starting today, this area of the road will be closed to traffic for sewer work, so expect that road to reopen again by Halloween. To get around the road closure, you'll need to take the detour using Jackson Street and Mosey Boulevard. The UW Lacrosse women's volleyball team dedicates one game a year as they're playing for a cause game. This year they are playing for Alzheimer's awareness. Eagle Volleyball will be playing its Attacking Alzheimer's match at 7 p.m. tonight at Mitchell Hall against UW Stevens Point. The inspiration for this year's cause comes from the mother of their former coach, Abby Sutherland, who has Alzheimer's. If you would like to donate to the Alzheimer's Association, we have more info at news8000.com.
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures will be warming up to about 42 degrees at 8 here, coming up 54, mostly sunny at noon. Lots of sunshine, especially around 5 p.m. Highs reaching 60 degrees, and overall a warmer and drier day with south winds light at 5 to 10 miles an hour.
About a week away from November, yet we're still in the 60s.
I know, and it's going to be in the 60s over the next 8 days, Jordan. Can you believe that?
Kind of more of a common thing now. I feel like,
it is. Yep, it is. One way above average. So enjoy it though while you can, right? Because winter's coming, and then before you know, it's going to get cold.
Plenty of hiking trails still open, so we've got no excuses here in the Coulee region for sure. Well, don't forget to keep up with the news of the day at news8000.com. We'll have the latest coming up this afternoon on News 8 Now at noon as well. We want to thank you so much for your time this week. We appreciate it as always. CBS Mornings follows us here, and we hope you have a great weekend.